Have you ever found yourself scrolling through crypto news, maybe seeing a project like Onyxcoin making headlines, and just wondering what's really going on behind the scenes? Or maybe you just wish you had a shortcut to genuinely understanding the next potential big thing in this space. It moves so fast.
It really does.
Well, you're in luck. Today, we're doing a deep dive into Onyxcoin, ticker XCN. It's been generating, well, quite a bit of buzz recently, showing some pretty interesting volatility.
Yeah, definitely seeing some movement.
And we've pulled together a stack of the latest articles, research, insights for you. Our mission: cut through the noise, dissect its core tech, and explore what analysts are really saying about its future. Okay, let's unpack this.
What's fascinating here is just how much information is swirling around XCN right now. We've sifted through, well, everything from high-level market summaries to detailed tech roadmaps, price predictions, the works. Our goal is for you to walk away with a clear, concise, and comprehensive understanding of Onyxcoin. You know, the essential insights you need to feel genuinely well-informed without getting totally bogged down.
Absolutely. So let's jump right into the immediate stuff. The recent chatter, the market sentiment around XCN.
Okay.
You might have heard whispers about maybe game-changing gas-free wallets, or these ambitious hopes for XCN to hit, what, 2 cents?
Those targets are floating around.
A recent CoinMarketCap AI summary, this was September 12, 2025, really captures this buzz. It mentions Onyx DAO boosting staking rewards, get this, 40% APR.
Wow, 40%, that's high.
Yeah, via something called Onyx Points. And back in July 2025, XCN surged by a significant 43%. That actually pushed it into the top 100 cryptos.
That's a big move.
It is. And analysts are apparently eyeing a 0.031 target if key support levels hold. Plus, there's this intriguing Indonesian retail frenzy.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Credited with a massive 551% gain in just the first half of 2025. Now, that's a lot of excitement. It was really fueling all this momentum.
Well, if we zoom out a bit, these aren't really isolated things, you know, they're kind of interconnected.
Okay.
Take that staking upgrade by Onyx DAO, August 19th, the intro of Onyx Points for Ethereum stakers, and they even did retroactive airdrops. That's pretty bullish.
Retroactive.
Yeah. And a 40% APR, I mean, that's a serious incentive. It encourages token lockups, right? People holding instead of selling.
Right, it reduces the supply.
Exactly, which reduces the circulating supply. And that's particularly important when you see rising demand for these Layer 3 DeFi utilities.
Layer 3. So like the apps built on top.
Precisely. Think of it as the application layer where the real-world use cases happen. So increasing demand there boosts the underlying tokens.
So it's not just about running rewards, it's strategically tightening the supply. But that 40% APR, it still sounds incredibly high. Is that sustainable, or is it more of a short-term push?
That's a really good question, and something savvy investors, you know, always look at. High APRs can be unsustainable if they're not tied to organic protocol revenue. But Onyx's strategy here seems to be about bootstrapping that initial adoption, locking up supply, especially given their roadmap for more robust Layer 3 apps. Sustainability, that'll depend on the utility of those apps down the line.
Makes sense.
We also saw at John Morgan FL pointing out back in July that XCN tested that 0.020 mark twice.
Okay, testing resistance.
Yeah, from a technical analysis view, a sustained breakout above that level could trigger, well, algorithmic buying, you know, bots jumping in. That's bullish.
Right.
But conversely, repeated failures that could lead to profit taking as traders kind of lose confidence.
And that Indonesian retail frenzy you mentioned seeing.
Yeah.
At Toko Crypto highlighted it July 28th. 551% gain in H1 2025. That's staggering. What does that tell us?
It's definitely bullish. It indicates rapid expanding adoption, particularly in Southeast Asia. That's a key growth region for crypto.
Okay.
The surge was also fueled by increased Layer 3 adoption and a Binance futures listing, which adds liquidity and visibility.
Is there a bet?
There's always a but with gains like that. It's worth considering the risk of attracting highly speculative by the rumor activity.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, hype driving price, not just fundamentals.
Exactly. It can be pretty volatile. And speaking of accessibility, at eToro listed XCN on July 7th.
More visibility, right?
Generally, yeah, but it's assessed as kind of neutral. While it makes XCN accessible to more people, its turnover ratio, basically how much it's traded versus its total supply.
Okay.
It's quite low, 0.056. That suggests liquidity is still relatively thin. For genuine, sustained demand, you'd want to see daily trading volumes consistently above, say, $30 million.
That's a great point. Accessibility doesn't automatically equal deep liquidity. We've also seen a flurry of product launches lately. Seems like a very active dev team.
Very active.
August 19th, Onyxcoin launched its multi-chain smart wallet. Android, iOS, this sounds like a big deal. Gas-free, supports Ethereum, BNB chain, Base, streamlining access.
It's potentially very significant.
Analyst Yvonne Marks even highlighted a technical breakout, suggesting, well, a potential 1,200% rally to 0.18 cents in seed if adoption really accelerates. That's bold.
It is bold. But this multi-chain wallet, it's a very bullish catalyst because it directly tackles a huge pain point in crypto. Gas fees and complexity.
Right.
Being gas-free massively reduces friction for new users, makes the Onyx ecosystem much easier to get into. However...
Always a however.
Always. Remember, XCN is still, 92% below its all-time high. So for that kind of massive rally, sustained momentum really depends on actual usage metrics. People need to actually use it.
So build it and they might come, but they need to stay and use it. Proof, not just promises. What other significant updates have rolled out?
Well, before that wallet launch, August 10th, there was a significant DAO-backed wallet approval. The Onyx DAO, the community basically, ratified Chain as their infrastructure partner.
And that moved the price.
Big time. Triggered a substantial 125% monthly price surge for XCN. Strong governance participation like that usually signals high holder confidence.
Okay, sounds positive.
But, and here's where it gets interesting, derivatives traders showed some skepticism. Open interest, the total outstanding futures contracts, actually dipped 14% despite the rally.
Really?
It often indicates concerns that retail adoption might be lagging behind the activity of maybe bigger, more speculative whale investors.
Fascinating. A positive vote, but maybe the smart money was hedging bets. And what about the OIP61 multi-chain upgrade?
The OIP61 upgrade, August 13th, also directly supports that multi-chain wallet. It enabled cross-chain interoperability for gas-free transfers across Ethereum, BNB chain, Base.
Making things work together better.
Exactly. It deepens XCN's utility and makes it more versatile. However, the price reaction was pretty muted, like a 2.29% gain in 24 hours. It suggests traders are still waiting for tangible adoption metrics from this upgrade. This raises an important question. How quickly will these new features actually translate into real-world sustained use, not just speculation?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? If they're building all this tech, how does it fit the bigger picture? What's actually powering it? Let's shift from the market buzz to under the hood, the tech, the roadmap. Here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay, so at its core, Onyxcoin XCN, it's an ERC20 token, meaning it's built on Ethereum, compatible with that whole ecosystem.
Right, standard stuff.
But it's a crucial part of the broader Onyx protocol. And that protocol is a platform specifically designed for financial-grade applications.
Financial grade.
Yeah, think robust digital infrastructure, offering instant transactions, low fees, enabling transparent lending, borrowing, liquidity provision, that sort of thing.
Okay.
And XCN isn't just a token, it's the utility token you need it to use the network. It's the gas token for transactions and the governance token, giving holders a say.
Multiple roles.
Exactly. It operates through Ethereum smart contracts, those automated agreements to assess collateral issue credit lines. And beyond that, the ecosystem includes things like the XCN Bridge for cross-chain transfers, NFT lending, staking, all designed to attract a wider audience.
That paints a pretty comprehensive picture. Looking ahead, the roadmap seems quite ambitious. The big one for 2025 is the Goliath mainnet launch, Onyxcoin's next-gen Layer 1 blockchain. High throughput, interoperability with Ethereum, BNB chain, Base. Sounds like they're building their own crypto highway.
That's a good way to put it. Analyst Lee, the captain from Captain Altcoin, sees Goliath as a potential game changer.
Okay.
He notes it adds real substance to Onyxcoin's story. Compares it to an athlete finally starting serious training after years of just raw potential.
I like that analogy.
It's bullish because a dedicated Layer 1 reduces reliance on other networks, improves efficiency, and should, in theory, attract more developers.
Makes sense.
Risks. The usual suspects, execution delays, delivering on the promises, and intense competition from established Layer 1s like Solana, Avalanche, you name it.
So, big step toward self-reliance, but definitely challenging. Another key development for 2025, Onyx AI integration. What's that about?
This aims to introduce agent-to-agent coordination for DAOs, think smart AI programs working together within these decentralized orgs, and even voice-controlled DeFi interactions.
Voice control for DeFi.
Okay, yeah. Leveraging decentralized knowledge graphs for financial strategies. It's neutral to bullish. AI could enhance adoption, streamline tasks, but success hinges on seamless integration and really robust AI training.
Got it.
Cryptomiss also notes Onyx AI working on the XCN ledger should increase token demand, which is a plus. Also, Q4 2025, they're aiming for Clarity Act compliance.
Regulations again. Classifying XCN as a digital commodity token under U.S. law.
That's the goal. It involves governance updates, more transparency.
What is that?
Potentially extremely bullish if they achieve it. Regulatory clarity could unlock significant institutional investment. Big money needs that legal certainty.
The flip side.
The caveat is that strict compliance might slow down innovation or add operational costs. It's always a trade-off.
Right. And beyond the roadmap, the code itself is seeing updates backing these plans up.
Indeed. That multi-chain wallet integration, updated August 13th, lets users see and transact XCN across chains without gas fees. That's enabled by the OIP61 upgrade,
Okay.
which introduced ERC4337 account abstraction. Think of it like making crypto wallets way smarter and more user-friendly, almost like a universal login for dApps.
Nice.
And Chain's CCIP infrastructure, helping different blockchains talk to each other smoothly. Bullish because it seriously reduces user friction in DeFi, expands accessibility.
Sounds like a big step towards making crypto less scary for normal people. What about those Onyx points you mentioned?
Yes, the Onyx Points activation, July 15th. It rewards Ethereum XCN stakers with non-transferable ERC1155 tokens.
Non-transfer, like loyalty points.
It's exactly like loyalty points. Tied to your account, can't sell them, but they'll unlock future perks, maybe prioritize transactions, things like that. It's largely neutral for now, incentivizes participation, but the actual utility is still untested.
We'll see.
And finally, the V2 compliance overhaul, July 24th, modifies tokenomics to exclude staking rewards from being seen as an SEC security.
Important distinction.
Very. And introduces on-chain KYC hooks for institutional wallets. Bullish again, as it reduces regulatory risk for enterprises, making it easier for big players to get involved.
But potentially adds hoops for retail users.
Potentially adds complexity for retail, yeah. Maybe more ID verification or specific wallet requirements for some features.
So easier for institutions, maybe trickier for individuals. So what does this all mean for Onyxcoin's place in the market? Captain Altcoin mentioned it targets global payments and finance, like Ripple's XRP or Stellar's XLM.
That's a big pod.
It is, but it's a rapidly growing pond. Global payments. Over $2 trillion today, maybe $5 trillion by 2028.
And what's interesting is it's not that overcrowded for blockchain solutions. Outside a few major players, there's definitely room for Onyxcoin to carve out relevance, especially with its focus on finance-grade apps and that regulatory angle.
Okay, now for the crystal ball moment, everyone waits for the price.
Yeah.
We know it's speculative, but what are analysts forecasting for XCN's value?
Absolutely. And yeah, highly speculative. Always remember that. Currently, the price bounces around a bit depending on the source, reflecting that crypto dynamism. You'll see recent reports anywhere from, say, 0.1 cent to 0.1 and 3 and 3 cents.
It's volatile.
Definitely seen volatility, short-term increases, but also monthly decreases recently. It just highlights how fluid things are right now.
So short-term predictions for 2025, I gather there's quite a range.
It's a huge range. Some analysts, like Changelly, are pretty conservative. They see XCN hovering around like 0.2 cents through December.
Very low.
Yeah. But others like Cryptomiss and Javon Marks, cited by CoinGabber, are much more bullish. They see potential for XCN to reach upwards of 3 cents, maybe even that 0.18 cent mark if things really take off.
Big difference.
It really shows the divergence in how quickly analysts expect adoption and sentiment to impact price. It's just the nature of this market, you know?
So stepping back a bit midterm, 2026 to 2030.
If we look midterm, you see that divergence even more clearly. Changelly stays conservative. Max price around 0.00037 by late 2026, maybe only 0.40 some certs by late 2030.
Still quite low.
Contrast that with Cryptomiss. They predict maybe 1.069 by 2026 and a big jump to $1.50s by 2030, driven by DeFi popularity, ecosystem growth.
$0.50. Okay.
CoinGabber goes even further, maybe $1 by 2030, citing adoption in the XCN Ledger Web3 growth.
$1.
And Captain Altcoin mentioned an analyst thinking $0.25 isn't crazy. That'd be a 23x move from current levels. They point out XRP hit a $200 billion market cap once, so $9 billion for XCN, which is roughly a large in 25s, isn't impossible.
Puts it in perspective.
Experts link this growth potential to Onyx hitting its stride with scalability, the borrowing platforms, its role as a reliable staking token.
They're way out, long term. 2040, 2050. Things get wild there, right?
They get very ambitious from some corners. Cryptomists forecasts maybe $4.50 by 2040, potentially $10 by 2050, assuming, widespread crypto adoption, heavy use of its lending functions.
That's $10.
CoinGabbar estimates $5-10 by 2040, maybe even $20-50 by 2050, again, based on continued blockchain adoption, integration into finance.
$50.
Strangely, still more conservative, average of maybe $0.86 by 2040, $1.31 by 2050.
Big range.
Huge range. And sources tackle those can it reach questions. 10 cents? Yeah, maybe by 2027. $1. Potentially by 2030 or 2033. $10. Possible by 2050, best case. But $100?
Let me guess, no.
No. The market cap required, like $3.5 trillion just for XCN, is currently seen as unrealistic.
Okay, so immediate future is varied, long-term is incredibly ambitious from some angles. Paints a picture of XCN as potentially a major player if everything goes right.
Right. So to kind of wrap up our deep dive on Onyxcoin, we've seen a project that's definitely not sitting still. It's actively developing, right? Gas-free wallets, its own Layer 1 Goliath coming, AI integration.
Lots of development activity. And all alongside this strategic push for regulatory compliance, which is crucial. While the market's been choppy, volatile, many analysts do see significant long-term potential. But it seems heavily tied to execution and, actual adoption.
Exactly. This deep dive shows Onyxcoin really trying to balance that ambitious tech innovation with the critical need for regulatory readiness and user accessibility. But consider this.
Okay.
In this rapidly evolving market, how will Onyxcoin truly differentiate its Goliath Layer 1 in what's already a pretty crowded blockchain landscape?
Good question.
And what role will actual sustained user adoption, not just speculation, play in realizing those really optimistic price predictions? This raises an important question about the path from potential to reality.
Exactly. Those are definitely the factors to watch as you follow Onyxcoin's journey. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We hope you feel much more informed about XCN and its potential future.